couple of inches of snow. It's older, hard, more compact snow. I skimmed off the layer on the top because that's all I can do, really. I'm not Chuck Norris. I'm not going to get this down to the gravel. So when I set up the tent on top of this, we'll just have to keep the boots on, I guess, in there. That'll be all right. Brought some firewood from the firewood pile. So close. Oh yeah, feels warmer in there already. Well, inside of here, I got a small 2-person dome tent I'm going to try to set up for an extra layer of insulation. And we'll see what that does in here. A nice still wind, so this thing shouldn't blow off on us. We'll see. I've never set this thing up before, and I'm really hoping it goes together inside of this. Otherwise, I'll have to pull the big tent off and put it back over top. From what I see, this is what a 2-person tent is supposedly. It should be okay. This is where we could get into issues. All right. It's actually somehow long enough to assemble 10 poles inside of this for another tent. That's all right. Hell. It's definitely light. Perfect. Interesting feature with this tent. I'll get into the details later, but look at how the poles go together. The metal part's on the inside so it doesn't snag when you slide it through. Brilliant. It only took us until 20 to 21 to figure this out. Perfect. Double door on this thing. Could be worse. Oh, the fly is heavier than the tent. Good quality. I'm not stressing too much about putting the other hole in the fly here because it's just another layer of insulation, really. It's a cool tent. I had to pick it up because I don't really have one that was small enough to put inside this one. So I had to go grab this little guy. Canadian Tire, of course. They didn't give it to me for free. But it is, looks like really decent tent so far. It'd be perfect for like a canoe or a kayak trip or something. It's a little heavy for backpacking, but if you had a few people with you all sharing the gear, it could be quite possible. So, haul a little more stuff in here, and then this will be the outer shell of an insulated tent, the inner shell of another tent, and I'm going to put some candles in here in the main tent. I'm not going to put them in this little fire trap here because that's just asking for it. You can get little holders that will hold them like lanterns or put them in clay pots to prevent them tipping over. But I think the safest and smartest thing to do is just to put them right in the snow because that's not going to catch on fire, I'm hoping. All the good parts are done and not a moment too soon because we're losing our sunlight power. And that should certainly qualify me for a little bit of vitamin beer here. Step 2 to help replenish my electrolytes out here. And we do have a remote control temperature sensor thermometer. So I'm going to have one taking the inside temperature and the outside temperature. We'll put that far away from the fire and vehicle so we get an accurate outside reading. We're going to see what we can do with just tea lights. Have a carbon monoxide alarm, because if you see a yellow flame, it is giving off carbon monoxide. Maybe not that much for each candle, but it's still putting it out there. And we're looking at like 70 to 80 BTUs per candle flame. So in order to actually do the equivalent of a buddy heater, you'd need like hundreds of them in there. So yeah, buddy heater is about 18,000 BTU. So the math there, the whole thing would burn down to the ground in about a second. Yeah, I'm gonna ration my candles because they last for about 4 hours each under laboratory conditions, which we don't have here. And I'm really relying on just the sleeping bag to get me through the night. Anyhow, should be down to minus 20 Celsius. Hopefully a lot warmer than that in the tents. In here in the tent, and the tent inside the tent, first things first, my carbon monoxide alarm. These little guys will save your bacon if there's a silent but deadly gas in the area. And here's my thermometer. Now, the top number there is the outdoor temperature, minus 16 Celsius. The bottom one says 0. And the bottom one's what's happening inside this tent. It's designed for in a house, so I think it stops at 0 because there's no heat going in here, and this is clearly not 0 degrees in here. So I don't think it actually starts registering until it gets to 0 degrees. So, tea lights on it. Now I'm going to start with just